you can combine layers into sets. Now notice that I've already color-coded this artwork. This is totally Photoshop 6 artwork. Option click on the eyeball in the background layer to just look at the background layer. This image here is this kind of weird image that's a synthetic image that was created in a 3D program or something of a French door against nothing, you know, just sort of a door to nothingness. And what that's about, I don't know. What this whole piece of artwork is about, I don't know. So here's the hot dog. It's loading on its own layer. Behind that I have a dog's shadow. So the dog is casting a shadow onto the door and so on. And then I selected the original door and put it in front. This is a doorway through the hot dog, a doorway through your food. And then we have this shaved fellow. And above him I created this fake shadow. It's just some neon over this guy's head. And I've colored each of these according to how they go together. But if I really wanted to keep them together and keep them sort of logically organized, I might combine these layers into sets. And sets become really, really useful when you start getting these 16 and 20 and 30 and 40 layer compositions that we frequently create in order to sort of mock up web pages. Very common when you're putting together web pages to just pile on the layers. And this allows you to keep track of things a little better by creating sets. And here's how you do it. You come down to this little folder icon here and click on it. And it automatically names it Set 1. Now if you want to name the set as you create it, you Option or Alt click on the little folder. It brings up a dialog box, allows you to name the set. And I could call this the hot dog set. And it creates it above the current layer. So the door was previously the active layer. Photoshop created this new set above the door layer. To add layers to the set, you need to drag them into the set and drop. All right, so I'm going to drag the hot dog layer into the hot dog set and then drag the dog shadow layer into the hot dog set. And that goes to the bottom. So that's good. This is exactly the way I want it. The one problem is that the hot dog is now in front of the French doors. I'm going to drag the door above the hot dog set, not into it, but above. See where that bar is? And drop it. And so now the door is above the hot dog set. And if I want to, just to keep things a little more streamlined in order to free up a little clutter inside the layers palette, I can click on this little visibility indicator, this little triangle, to collapse the hot dog set. So all we see is this nice little hot dog set sitting there. And what's interesting is that I can apply a blend mode independently to this entire set. It turns out you can apply layer masks to a set. You can apply blend modes to a set. Pass-through means that Photoshop is just observing the individual blend modes that are applied to each layer inside the set. So whatever blend mode I have applied to the hot dog and to the shadow is what Photoshop will respect. If I apply some other blend mode here, it will override the blend modes that are applied to the layers inside the set and apply this blend mode instead. So if I applied something like overlay, it would wipe out the existing blend modes that were assigned to the hot dog and shadow and apply the overlay mode instead. So instead, I'm just going to leave it set to pass through. I'm going to back up a few steps here to before I added this set and show you one more thing. What if I want to create a new set that includes a bunch of layers? Instead of having to create a set and then drag a bunch of layers into it, what if I just want to select a bunch of layers and then say, make this into a set? How do I do it? Very easily. You have to use a command though. I'm going to click on the halo layer and then click on the link icon to the shaved guy layer. So basically link every layer that you want to add to the set. So just these two layers in my case. And then go to the layer palette menu, click on it, and choose new set from linked. It asks you to name it. Again, the guy, whatever, bang. It's automatically collapsed. Isn't that interesting? Click here to look at the contents, and sure enough, there's Halo and Shaved Guy. That's the easiest way to do it. However, you have to choose a command. That's the one downside.